Darkness everywhere. Pain everywhere. Cain's at the pearly gates, awaiting his judgment. His mother and father are there, beckoning him to join them. He reaches out and Red overtakes his arm, yanking him back. Driving his foot forward, Cain fights it, but the restraints grow tighter. His younger brother, Abel, skips by. Cain turns back and glares hard at the force, stopping him from being with his family. There he is, clad in black and red armor with the skull mask. Red inks from the tips of his fingers like they're open wounds. Mary's there too. She's held tightly underneath the man's right arm. Rushing forward, Cain summons Ichor, dragging the massive claymore along the ground on the way towards his enemy. Then there's a twang, and Cain feels himself fall apart, cut clean through at every joint. The skull-faced man looms over him, Mary struggling against his grasp. With his free hand, he pulls off his mask, revealing Longinus. Longinus is the first thing Cain sees when he comes to, but
Mary
is the first thing he says. Shirtless and sweating, Cain lurches forward, falling off the bed.
Easy, pal,
Longinus says, stepping in to catch Cain.
You're busted up more than usual. I know you don't want to hear it, but get some rest. You need it.
Where's Mary? What happened to Mary?
You're closer to death than you've ever been, and you're more worried about her. Who are you, and what have you done with my Cain?
Please, Longinus. Is she okay?
Upsy daisy,
Longinus says, helping Cain back into bed.
Look, I get how much you want to see her right now, but...
Cain!
Cain looks up and finds her rushing through the doorway.
Don't!
Longinus steps in front of Mary, but she sidesteps, gets around him, and lunges at Cain.
Cain!
Mary shouts as she jumps into his arms. The two go tumbling off the bed. Cain feels a sharp pain in his arm, but he doesn't care. Some of his blood gets on her, but she doesn't seem to care. They just hold one another, and Cain couldn't be happier.
I thought you were gonna keep her busy,
Longinus says, facing towards the door as Judas enters, a crying Adam in tow.
I was. Didn't expect her to throw a baby at me. Sorry for underestimating her.
Their auras are getting mighty close. Please tell me they aren't naked.
And they're only hugging. But it's still gross.
You're okay. I'm so happy you're okay.
You're the one who got hurt. I'm happy you're okay.
Yeah, we're all happy.
I'm not. And Adam isn't either.
All right, jackrabbits.
Longinus says while picking Mary up by the collar and pulling her off Cain.
He's a fast healer, but I doubt he's ready to canoodle just yet.
What?
Dude?
Judas points and Cain looks down. His arm, the one diced up by the psychopomp, is still gone. It hadn't healed yet.
It's taking longer than usual.
I did what I could, but I only had enough Styx water to save your legs.
What?
Duh! We got attacked by a psychopomp!
Don't act like you know what that means.
The dude was an assassin.
I literally explained this to you 20 minutes ago. His weapon bypasses accelerated healing.
Yeah, that.
If that...
Medieval psycho-knitting gimp.
If that... medieval psycho-knitting gimp went for the kill sooner, i.e. decapitated you, then we'd be burying you right now.
And you're briefing me on this why?
Even someone as blind as me can see that psychopomp wasn't trying to kill you.
What? Oh, no. That guy was totally trying to kill Cain. Hell, he was trying to kill all of us. Or did your blind ass miss the part where he sliced our car in half?
My car. Point is, he could have put us all down in a second, but he didn't. He drew things out. So, fill me in. Any grudges you want to come clean about?
Because I keep a directory of all the people who hate me.
Well, he knew you. So maybe we can backtrack and figure out where along the line someone wised up and decided that a psychopomp would be the thing to do you in.
So he knew me. Who doesn't? You should be questioning her. She knows that psychopomp. Pretty intimately from the way it sounded. She stopped me from killing him.
Yeah, we saw that part too.
Ooh, are we speculating? Okay, because I got a theory, maybe the Gimp is like her older brother, and he wants to kill Cain because he's getting sick of all the obvious romantic tension.
Romantic tension?
What? Don't act like nobody notices. Even with a curse that literally makes him repulsive, Mr. Tall, Dark, and Brooding still gets all the attention.
You're jealous.
Yeah? I just said that. You deaf now, too?
Ask her, Longinus. Ask her who that guy was.
That's Marebear's business.
You interrogated me? Why not ask her?
Because I need to know what you know. We're a team, Kay.
Hey! Are you saying I'm not a part of the team?
No. No, what I mean is, I didn't mean it like that. I just mean we've got history that we should be transparent about. It's the Sin Squad way.
Don't call us that.
Look, Marebear is, well, she's different from us. I told you that the day I met her. I can't see much, but I can see that clear as day. If there was anything she wanted to share, she'd do it. She's honest like that. And if she doesn't say anything, it's for the best we don't know.
I know how I feel. This doesn't change anything.
Cain says, trying to lift himself out of bed. His legs are sewn on, but still far off from healed, so he isn't surprised when he falls onto the ground. Knowing they'll try to help him up, Cain throws his arm up, stopping them.
You're doing this to protect me. You seem to forget, but I'm older than you. I can handle bad news. Doesn't matter if that guy was a brother, father, or lover to Mary.
Cain.
Mary walks over and crouches down at Cain's side. He wanted to avoid her touch when she goes to comfort him, but instead, he lets her in like he's a needy child. She embraces him, and he rests his head in the nape of her neck. She smells of blood and lilacs.
There's a hit on me. Isn't the first, won't be the last. Let him come. But if this makes you guys targets by association, then I think it's best we end things here.
No.
Mary says, pulling away. Longinus narrows his eyes, and Judas shakes his head.
Okay, that guy must have knocked every one of your screws loose. You aren't the most rewarding person to travel with, but, I'll be damned if Mary's obsessive ex-boyfriend is gonna be the thing that breaks up the band. He's gotta learn to let go, like Mary did with Jesus.
Mary rolls her eyes.
I'm serious. Get a move on without me. Longinus, get Mary to Jesus' domain safely, while I keep hunting the demons.
On your own?
On my own. It's my thing.
So you're gonna hoof it, solo, and hope for the best against remaining syndicate members, and the psychopomp guy.
That's the plan.
That isn't a plan.
As noble as that all sounds, we're without wheels. So I don't think it's the best idea to walk miles out in the open with a mortal baby. So even if you do bring us tons of unwanted attention, you're also our biggest deterrent.
What? No. Mary is. Look, she's strapped to the 9. She's the reason we made it this far.
Longinus purses his lips and hangs his head.
We're cheering Cain up? Well, you're the best bet for surviving, dude. There's nothing that could get by that insanely giant useful sword that you carry that you never seem to use.
How do we get here if the car was totaled?
Here isn't all that far off. Marebear busted out another one of her, holy trinkets. A portable domain.
A pocket dimension? Wow. That sounds lame out loud.
Believe it or not, all of this is inside a tiny golden ring. We're still on Midgard, apparently.
Why she decided to wait till now to share this is beyond me. I say, hey, let's get a tent. Maybe it'll be more comfortable than sleeping in the backseat of a car every night. Wouldn't have said that if I knew Mary carried a house in her back pocket.
Hey, there's limited uses. And if anything happens to the Halo, we're in trouble.
Which is exactly why you should be standing guard, Judas.
You're right. Sorry. Didn't want to miss any big reveals.
Right. He's right. You're all right. The Sin Squad is a team.
Don't call us that!
There shouldn't be any secrets, even if I only kept them to protect you.
Mary's eyes fall on Cain and he feels his blood run cold and his chest gets tight. This is it. She's gonna tell them herself. Or she would have if the room hadn't started spinning at that exact moment. Cain, Mary, Longinus, Judas, and Adam all hit the ceiling. Furniture flies about around them, clipping Longinus every time he tries to get his footing. Judas rolls with the turbulence of the room, shielding Adam the entire time. Cain kicks off a wall and catches Mary mid-air before slamming into the floor. They tumble towards the open door and one by one ink out of a little halo. Now all the stuff about the room being portable makes a lot more sense to Cain.
Would you look at that? I must have hit the jackpot.
Yes, you did, ma'am.
Cain hears them but can't see them on account of Longinus's ass blocking his way. The group fell from the halo and tangled in a pile. Cain can feel the sharp toe of Judas's suede shoes against his ass crack, and he thinks that his elbow was raking up Mary's spine, but he wasn't sure.
Judas, your foot. Could you...
Careful of Adam.
You heard the lady. You're gonna have to get used to the sensation.
If you just let go of my arm, I could climb off.
Here, I'll just... stand up.
Cain says, straining to move.
I got this. Hold on.
It's okay, Kay. I know your max is way beyond this. Yesterday tuckered you out, so take a rest day, champ.
Here, I'll clench my abs. Will that help? Alright, I'm doing it. Alright, go on, Mary. Tell me and tell everyone how shredded I am.
I'll just get into the push-up position.
Cain says, moving his arm and stabilizing his hand.
And...
He sinks into the ground as though it were made of jelly. What kind of magic is this?
Hey! I get how you feel, Cain, but isn't doing that a bit, I don't know, sudden?
What?
Cain says, then he gets it.
Oh god. Everyone off. Hurry. You all don't want to be on me in 2 seconds.
Dude, that better be your knee poking me, or I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, wow. This isn't flattering. Here, let me just...
Something thin wraps around Cain's waist. It tightens, and seconds later, he's yanked from the pile and sent skidding across the pavement. Wincing, Cain sits up and sees 2 demons looming over his team. To the left stands a male demon. He's about Cain's height and wears a black suit vest, red dress shirt, and burgundy pants. He cuts a striking silhouette. His skin is orange, almost red, and the only hair he's got is the goatee jutting from his chin. 2 horns protrude from his temples. Cain follows this demon's glowing gaze to his partner. A she-demon he hates to admit is beautiful. Her skin is violet, and Cain can see quite a bit of it on account of her tiny sleeveless red blouse. Her pinstriped pants tear at the knee and her legs end in hooves. She has dark hair that sits around and along her horns, which bounce between warm and cool colors. A tail extends out from the crook of her back and swings about in a semicircle behind her.
I came to you. Isn't that unexpected?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Despite his injuries, Cain jumps up and rushes for the demon.
Uh-oh, here it comes. He's even making a scary face.
Shall I execute him, ma'am?
Cain doesn't care. He'll cleave through both of them.
No, it's fine. This is fun, right? Let me have some fun.
When Cain's a step or 2 away, he summons Icor. It's hard to wield in his offhand, but it's all he's got now. Hoping he can catch them off guard, he thinks of a name and channels it. Hagenti. Icor grows sharper and longer mid-swing, giving Cain more than enough length to slash both targets.
Hey, look up here.
She says, throwing up an arm. Cain doesn't. A tightness snags Cain's leg and pulls him off balance.
Made you look.
She hoists Cain up.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Cain swings Icor at the demoness's tail in an attempt to free himself. The demoness slams Cain down onto the ground. She brings one of her hooves down on Cain's stitched-up leg. The pain from his tearing flesh causes him to scream and let go of Icor. The weapon dissipates.
Cain!
Longinus, Judas, and Mary all try to charge, but the male demon blocks their path.
Did you see that?
She uses her tail to flip Cain onto his back.
I kicked his keister, booted his buttocks, guided his glutes, to the ground.
Yes, ma'am. You did?
Yeah, I roughed him up despite him having all these muscles.
She pokes Cain's chest with her tail.
What is this? Why is it so hard? Do you work out? What's this part even called?
Her tail runs from the center of Cain's chest down across his abdomen.
Are you seeing this, Paimon?
Yes, ma'am. He's ripped.
He's like a packed sausage, brimming with meat. He might squirt some juices if you bite down too hard. Ooh. Why don't you look like this?
If I had to guess, it's the carbs. I love my bread, ma'am.
Yeah, you do love bread.
Who are you?
You don't know?
She eyes Longinus.
I bet you this guy does. Go ahead, I'll let you say it. Hello?
Answer the ma'am, sir.
Paimon stomps his foot, cracking the ground. Mary looks to Judas, who elbows Longinus.
Oh, me?
Yes, you. What are you, blind?
Actually.
Nope, don't care. Just introduce me already. This is my moment.
Longinus trails off and looks to Judas. He shrugs and eyes Mary, who also shrugs.
Don't be modest. The tension is killing your friend here.
No, you are! You're literally killing me!
Oh, that's funny. Okay, he's got stage fright. I'll just do it. Paimon, give me some theatrics.
On command, Paimon nods and inhales. Not even a second later, his chest inflates. The bulge in his chest builds up to his cheeks, leaving them glowing gold. From his mouth comes a stream of magma. The geyser of burning liquid cascades onto the ground and crawls forward as though it had a mind of its own. Hot fluid surrounds Mary, Longinus, Judas in a coughing atom. The magma parts for the demoness but regroups to form beneath Cain, burning him. Another scream jumps from his chest as he tries to push her off of him.
This is a sight to behold, isn't it? After dedicating so much of your time to butchering my men and hunting me down, I decided to come for you.
Hunting you down? So you're...
This is my moment.
The woman looks to Paimon and hikes her thumb in Cain's direction and mouths something. Cain reads her lips as, "Get a load of this guy." Clearing her throat, she turns her attention back on Cain. Like butter on toast, a smirk spreads across her face.
It's me, Astaroth.
The demoness, Astaroth, throws her arms up and two large, tattered bat-like wings flap up behind her. A serpentine tongue rolls over her bottom lip, while her long, leathery tail whips the ground.
Da-da-da-da!
Paimon applauds, then shoots a glare at the others, causing them to clap as well. Cain can't believe it. He's finally face to face with the leader of the demon syndicate. Flesh chars, dies, heals, and burns again and again. Bones splinter and reform, then fracture once more beneath a cloven hoof. Pain rocks his body, fear flushes his face, but he bears it all because this was it. This is what his team worked towards. Everything they've stolen, every lie they've told, everyone they slaughtered. All of it so they could find her. So Cain won't fall for her act. As idiotic as she may sound, as feminine as she might look, Cain won't relent, even if Mary begged him. This woman did the unthinkable, unleashed hell on earth.
Hello?
Astaroth says, poking Cain's forehead with her tail.
Are you alive? Is he alive? Paimon, I thought you said he couldn't die.
That's what our sources said. You.
Me.
Yes. Tell me. Can Cain die?
Cain. Who's Cain?
He is.
Yeah, it's a dialect thing.
So speak the truth. Can Cain die?
Paimon's eyes widen and shine like fire.
Chevalier.
Judas's eyes grow and take on a similar glow. In a voice lacking any of his usual charm, Judas says,
No. Cain cannot die by traditional or more magical means to my knowledge.
Paimon blinks his eyes back to normal, and Judas follows suit.
Wait, what? What did you just do to me?
I made you honest.
How dare you!
Hot still! Hot! Hot! Hot!
Could you stop screaming? So rude. Can you believe this guy?
Maybe if he focuses on moving his arm, he can... Nope, too much pain.
Stop! You're killing him!
What? No, weren't you listening? He's immortal.
By now, Cain's been around Mary long enough to know when she's going to do something stupid. It costs some of the skin on his neck, but Cain jerks his head to the right so he can see her, so she can see him.
Mary! Go!
Not again. Not after the psychopomp. Cain won't let Mary get hurt because of him. He won't let her use any more of her medical resources on him. He won't be a hindrance on her or Adam's life again. So even if it hurts for now, even if he's stuck in an endless loop of pain, Cain will persist. Because if for nothing else, he's a bit of a dick.
Wait, do I look like the bad guy here?
No, ma'am.
Paimon says before spewing up more magma to keep Cain's friends gated off from him.
Nah, I don't like this. Too villainous. All right, stop the presses.
At last, Astaroth pulls her hoof off Cain, freeing him. She winks at Cain and he hasn't any idea why. All it takes is a clap of her hand and the lava fizzles out and hardens into rock. With a tug of her tail, Astaroth pulls Cain from the stone cocoon that had formed around him. Soft slaps of that long appendage dust Cain before sending him off towards his comrades.
Fun's over, pal. Put on a shirt.
Skin reforms and bones fasten as Cain heals while running to Mary. He heals up just in time to catch her as she embraces him. Their joy blossoms and dies in a single twirl. When Cain sets Mary down, his attention shifts to Astaroth and Paimon. Not one to learn his lesson, Cain summons Icor.
So we're doing this.
Aren't we completely outclassed here?
Hasn't stopped us before.
Mary sweeps by Judas, grabbing Adam. While twirling, she slips Adam into a large ring that materializes into her hand. The ring shrinks down and Mary snaps it around her neck, turning it into a choker. She rests her fingers on the choker for a moment and whispers something Cain can't make out. Mary pulls off her golden headband, revealing it's another one of these magic rings. The ring hovers around Mary, circling her once before coming to rest at her side. She reaches through the ring, but her hand doesn't come out on the other side. From the nimbus, Mary pulls a gun, white with gold-plated trim.
What?
I'll explain everything later. Let's just take these guys down.
Not offering them a second chance?
Oh, they'll get a second chance after they serve the full length of their sentences with good behavior.
Mary reaches into the levitating band at her side again. This time she pulls out a familiar shirt, followed by a leather jacket and ending with a red scarf. She tosses the clothes at Cain and flashes him a toothy grin.
Are you seeing this?
Yes, ma'am.
This would explain how they did Hagenti and Balaam in. Make him a bit more persuasive, will you?
Paimon's eyes go wide like saucers filled with sparkling water. Cain tries to look away but can't. Something in that gaze keeps him fixed on the spot.
State your intentions here.
Paimon says, looking over the squad.
Find a woman who won't think of me as a friend or a little brother.
Make some friends and have a really good time.
Kill every demon, especially Astaroth. Get Mary to think I'm cool so that she gives me a smooch.
Ooh, this is good stuff. I like it. More. Come on. You. What about you, Toots? What are you here for?
I'm here as an undercover operative for the Archangels.
What?
I was personally assigned to Midgard by Jesus Christ himself as a part of our Guardian Angel program to oversee the rehabilitation of our extended probation cases.
What?
These subjects are Cain, Longinus, and Judas.
What?
The apocalypse and the release of demons has led to improvisation on my part, so I've taken it upon myself to track the movements of the most prominent syndicate members and bring them to justice.
What?
No. That makes sense. Now I know why she was at Hagenti's.
Lastly, I am to regroup with Jesus so that the two of us can track down and awaken the horsemen who...
Ugh, stop. That's enough. I didn't need your whole life story. Wow, boring stuff. So, are they doing a good job? Are they rehabilitated?
Kinda. Cain, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have kept this from you.
He should feel betrayed. He should be angry. But instead, he's grateful. He hadn't confronted her about her weaponry directly, so it wasn't as though she were trying to lie to him. At the same time, everything she's done, from preventing him from killing to hosting a confessional, has been for the sake of rehabilitating him. She was helping him remove his curse. So yeah, Cain hates the demons. Yeah, he still hates God and by extension the archangels, but when he looks at Mary, all he can feel is a warmth in his chest and a desire to protect. He knows it for sure now. Cain adores this woman.
Because you're you, I'll make a concession. I'll fight alongside an archangel this one time.
Gasping, Mary's cheeks flush and tears build in her eyes. Snapping her gaze forward, Mary throws up another ring, which Cain can now see are halos. It expands and descends over Mary, and as it traces over her figure, she changes. Her hair becomes lighter, her eyes and clothes become a matching pink, and several feathered wings spring up from her back.
Yeah, this is the big reveal.
I saw it coming.
A loud clap puts the spotlight back on Astaroth. She's snickering and dancing around, enraptured at the sight of the archangel before her.
Would you look at that? Your introduction was way better than mine. Holy cow. Guess this is the part where we fight, huh?
No. This is the part where we kill you.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Cain charges and the others follow. Paimon blocks off Astaroth and spews magma from his mouth. Mary takes to the sky to avoid the lava. Judas following is a swarm of bats. The cloud of vermin is so dense that it's able to lift Cain and Longinus over the volcanic stream. The swarm envelops Paimon and Astaroth, but she manages to back out. Cain pursues.
You and Mare Bear handle her. We'll take care of the egghead.
Longinus says, stabbing at Paimon with his lance. Paimon catches the tip of the spear and holds it for maybe a second before his hand catches fire. Cain steps out and meets up with Mary, who's already taken to shooting at Astaroth. Astaroth manages to avoid each shot, ducking and weaving around them with a great deal of ease.
Sorry, I'm not her gente.
Grunting, Mary summons a second pistol to add to the firepower. When that doesn't work, 3 additional halos detach from her headband and hover at her sides. Copies of Mary's hands, guns and all, emerge from the halos and also take aim at Astaroth. The floating halos move about, changing position to attack Astaroth from various angles. Still, Astaroth dodges.
She's so fast. If I didn't burn so much divinity the other day, I'd be able to make more guns.
Is that my fault?
What? Oh no. No, that's not it. I would have done it anyway. You did really well against Azrael, all things considered.
Uh-huh. How good's your aim?
Perfect. Wait. No, pride is a sin. I'm pretty good.
Good.
Cain says, jogging forward.
Then don't hit me.
What?
Cain runs alongside Mary's bullets, dragging Ichor behind him and closing the gap between them and Astaroth. The aim is to get Astaroth's attention focused on him. If that happens, then Mary should be able to clip her no problem. Even a graze with one of her bullets should be enough to bring down the demoness. Cain's on her, but she's also on him. Her wry expression tests his patience. He fails and ends up swinging like mad. In spite of her height and hooves, Astaroth's graceful in the way she bounds around Ichor and the bullets at the same time. Gold explodes around the two like a choreographed light show. Cain doesn't land a single hit. Cain feels leather whip and rip his cheek. Astaroth's tail coils around her and she motions for Cain to come closer. A name flashes in his mind and Cain blasts Astaroth with flames. She walks right through them, so Cain's quick to shift gears. With another name comes another ability. The sword grows in length, all while blowing wind at Astaroth. Though it slows her down a bit, she muscles through it, all the while moving around the bullets, raining over them. Damn it. Had Cain not popped his runes fighting Azrael, he might be able to catch her off guard.
Come on, dance with me.
Astaroth says, dropping down and taking out Cain's leg with a swing of her tail. He hits the ground but bounces up and jumps, ready to slash her. Astaroth splits her legs and allows the weapon to graze her. Their eyes meet and she winks. Astaroth rolls back onto her hooves and lunges forward, nearly spearing Cain on her horns.
This is so much fun. I should have fought for myself forever ago. How you doing, Paimon?
Cain hears Paimon yelling inside the prison of bats.
Oh, he's doing great. He's doing great.
Cain stands, positions Icor before him, and pants. While Longinus and Judas seem to be doing fine, Cain can tell that he and Mary are off their game. The run-in with Azrael took its toll, and it doesn't seem like either of them are up for handling the Syndicate's leader. Without a car, escape is impractical. The longer he throws his weight at Astaroth, the more predictable and tired he'll become. A glance at Mary lets Cain know she might be reaching her limits as well. One of her many duplicate guns had vanished. There's no telling how much longer she can keep this up.
What's the matter? Not having a good time?
Narrowing his eyes, Cain spins, attempting a whirlwind slash on Astaroth. A jump puts her above him. All of her weight comes down on Cain's shoulders as she uses him as a stepping stone. Cain falls to his knees and tries to jump up, but he's grounded again. Several lashes at his back drive him down into the dirt. A knee cements Cain in place.
Don't like it when it's a challenge. You didn't like being ambushed, did ya?
With the focus on him, Cain wonders if Mary can land a hit. He peeks and sure enough, bullets are hitting Astaroth, but they aren't hurting her. On closer inspection, Cain can see Astaroth's tail whipping about, slapping the bullets before they can hurt her. It's only now that he's paying close attention that he can see her tail is hardened over with some sort of metallic substance.
My bullets won't break through. Your tail is plated with holy armor. You got it from an archangel, didn't you?
Ow! Hot! Very hot!
Cain peeks up to see a number of smoking bats coming together to form a singed Judas. Paimon stands over the vampire, hot liquid trailing down the edges of his lips. Longinus, panting, lowers his spear, eyes on Judas.
Are you afraid? Is this situation hopeless yet? Are you beginning to wonder if this is how Hagenti, Balaam, or any of the demons you've slaughtered failed?
Nope. Don't give a damn how they felt.
Cain.
Mary lowers her guns.
Shall I verify his statement, ma'am?
No need. I believe him.
The demoness's tail curves around Cain's neck and hoists him up. Mary cocks her guns, all aimed at a single point. Astaroth.
It's hard to look like the good guy when faced off against an archangel.
That's because you aren't the good guy. You're the one responsible for the apocalypse. If you hadn't freed the demons, then the mortals would still be alive. The Bifrost wouldn't have fallen, and things could just be like they used to.
Like they used to be? They might have been fine for you, but that's 'cause you ain't got a pair of these.
She motions to her horns.
How many times is the word demon used to describe a good person in the Bible? This idea persists throughout so many cultures. History deemed us the bad guys long before we got to make any kind of first impression. We hear it so often, we just assume we're born bad. We aren't allowed to be anything else. Hell no. We're malevolent on a molecular level. We don't know any better. Do you know how insane it is for a little girl to have that self-image? That no matter what she does, she's gotta be the monster. Internalized hatred leads a girl to bleach and feather her wings so that people might think she's an angel. Internalized hatred leads a girl to steal holy water so she can douse her tail in it. It burned like hell and didn't get rid of the damn thing. Just made it tougher. Internalized hatred leads a girl to study day in and day out, hoping she can be an archangel, because at least one demon made it onto the force before, means she can too, right? Yeah, she ended up on the payroll all right. Ended up with a cushy job as a great duke in hell. Watch your demon brothers and sisters carted in by the hundreds, sentenced for crimes they may not have committed, though probably did, 'cause, you know, demons just can't help themselves. We always give in to our baser instincts, you know.
Noting the passion in her voice, Cain takes a chance and stabs at her with Icor, but she catches the blade. Despite the barbed side snagging into her palm and causing a hefty amount of blue to leak from her, she doesn't break eye contact with Mary.
Over the years, perpetrators get younger. Cases get more innocuous. Demons die, and they say, oh, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. We stand somewhere, we're arrested. We try to run, we are gunned down. We do what we're told, wear the cuffs, show up to the sentencing, and get sentenced to centuries for the same crimes that angels only get a decade for.
The longer Astaroth speaks, the paler Mary becomes.
So yeah, I got sick of it. Got sick of the slurs the archangels would say when they brought me a new shipment of criminals. I got sick of the slurs the demons would say about the woman who loves the taste of the boot in her mouth. The woman, the little girl with so much internalized hate that she didn't care how unjust the treatment of her people was. So I let 'em loose, as many as I could. I figure, yeah, there's some bad seeds in there, but after all they've endured, I can only think, well, maybe they weren't always that way. And if I released even a dozen demons who didn't deserve to be down there, it'd be worth it!
A wind rolls by, hissing its way through the silence.
Is all of that true?
Every word of it.
Astaroth lets Cain go.
Go on. I didn't come here to kill y'all. Wasn't my intention.
Then why are you here?
To show you that I'm different. Different from the demons you read about. Different from Ram, Hagenti, or Balaam. Different from you.
From me?
So this demoness thinks she's better than him because she's sparing his life? He won't thank her. He won't think any better of her. Once he and his team are back in fighting form, he'll find Astaroth, and he'll kill her.
You done?
Yes, ma'am.
Paimon says, walking over to her.
So that's it?
Yup, that's it for my demonstration. You know what? Let's find out what they thought, Paimon. What you guys think? I'm open to criticism.
Paimon gives everyone a once-over with his glowing eyes, and Cain feels the truth ripped from him.
It sucked. You sucked. I hate you.
Valid criticism.
You're funny, but you're taller than me, and as a man I feel threatened.
You're the most beautiful creature I've ever laid eyes on. Please, step on me.
I like this. I can work this into my next routine.
All eyes fall on Mary, the last one to speak. Even though it isn't for him, Cain is curious about the coming truth. What did Mary think of all of this?
You've given me a new perspective. It would be terribly naive of me to buckle on my beliefs after hearing one person's story. But I can't help that I'm a naive person. I'll take your words with a grain of salt. Not because you're a demon, but because you've committed crimes. Even if it wasn't by your own hand, demons from hell hurt people. Members of the syndicate hurt people. As their leader, you are responsible. Because of that, I will arrest you. Someday.
Fair.
The two demons walk over to a blood-red limousine parked on the side of the road.
You driving?
Astaroth waits. Paimon nods and she tosses him the keys. They've got a leg in before they stop and stare out at Cain and his group on the side of the road.
Aw, you guys look so pathetic. Like, in a good way.
Finally someone says it. Thank you.
Paimon.
Astaroth holds out her hands and Paimon returns the keys. She then tosses the keys at Longinus's head.
Ow! What's this?
Longinus asks, picking up the keys and rubbing his forehead.
You can have it.
Astaroth spreads her wings.
We'll just fly out of here.
This is some sort of trap.
I just proved I could kill your entire posse if I wanted to.
Why don't you want to? Why won't you kill us?
Dude, shut up. I don't want to die.
Because demons have a bad rep. But maybe that doesn't always have to be the case. Maybe a kid grows up and his mother doesn't tell him demons are born evil. Nobody is. That's all.
As her eyes grow misty, Mary runs her fingers across her halo choker. Cain exhales, looks ahead, and watches as Astaroth and Paimon take to the sky. He knows he'll encounter them again, and he'll make sure it doesn't turn out like this next time.
Looks like they're gone. All right, let's hit the road. I am so over today.
Wait a minute. Don't get in yet. There's a big lump of divinity in the trunk.
Whoa! Hey, do you think they left us a big bag of Orison too?
Yo, Astaroth is the best!
Judas rushes to the trunk. Mary's guns and extra halos fade away. She pulls her choker off, and it too breaks down into a series of sparkles as Adam reforms in her arms. She didn't bother turning her hair black or hiding her wings yet, probably on account of all the divinity she used fighting. That's something Cain has to take into consideration from now on.
I wonder how she found us.
They all gather around the limousine as Longinus pops the trunk. Upon seeing the contents of the trunk, Longinus, Cain, and Judas all groan, while Mary gasps. There's several cases of beer, 3 cartons of cigarettes, 8 or so tiny plastic bags filled with a leafy-looking drug, as well as over 20 cans of food. None of that is surprising, nor is any of it the big source of divinity Longinus saw. No, in the center of all the vices was a lithe figure, tied up and gagged. Already piecing everything together, Cain takes a gag out of his mouth and prepares to hear the excuses.
Cain, have you been?
The incubus's tail curves around and prods Cain's hand. It lingers there as though he expects Cain to touch it.
I think we've got some catching up to do.
Cain shuts the trunk.
Let's just go.